All right, honors Algebra 2 and Algebra 2. Welcome to the first of two videos here for your game plan 5, 1, 2, 5, 4. Here we go. Moving on to page 1. What we got here again? This is notes from class. So the first, we have a bunch of exponents rules here. The first one, when we're multiplying with the same base, we simply add the exponents together. So x to the third times x to the fourth is x to the 3 plus 4, 7. Only write this down if you missed class, okay, and didn't get these notes. We might have used different examples in class. Next one, we have a power to a power exponent rule number 2. X to the third raised to the fourth. That's like having 4 straight x to the thirds. 4 threes give you 3 times 4, which is 12. We can multiply the exponents. We have division with the same base. We subtract the exponents. X to the 7 minus 4. If I had a negative exponent, I would write it as 1 over x to the third. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Okay. Here, if I have x over y, everything to the fourth, then I raise both the numerator and denominator to the fourth. Here, if I have x times y, and all being raised to the third, I raise everything to the third power. Here are examples. So I just multiply the coefficients. 3 times 2 times 1 gives me 6. I add the exponents. X to the negative 3 plus 2 plus 5. 2 plus 5 is 7. Minus 3 is 4. Y to the fourth times y to the negative first times y to the seventh. Add the exponents. 4 plus a negative 1 plus 7 is y to the 10th. That is rule number 1. Number 2, here we have rule number 3. Subtract the exponents. Now I like to say, look at the x's. Which has the higher exponent, the top or the bottom? The bottom has the higher exponent by 4. 7 minus 3 gives you x to the fourth down below. Which has the highest exponent from y, the top or the bottom? The top does by 6. 8 minus 2 gives you 6. Here on 3, I do 45 divided by 9. That gives me 5. 5 is in the numerator because 45 is bigger. The exponents, 7 versus 4. 7 is bigger in the denominator. 7 minus 4 gives me x to the third down below. With the y, so the top definitely has the biggest exponents. 3 is bigger than negative 2 for sure. 3 minus a negative 2 is 5. Down below has the higher exponent of z. 4 minus 1 is 3. If you don't have an exponent, put a 1 there. That is page 1. All notes. Page 2 also notes. We got 2 times a negative 4. That is a negative 14. Add the exponents. Negative 3 plus 5 is 2. And then 3 plus a negative 6 is a negative 3. Don't want that negative exponent there, so y to the negative third goes south and becomes y to the third. All right, 15 here. Our number 5 involving 15. 15 divided by negative 3 is a negative 5. There are, I made a boo-boo here. This exponent for x is bigger. 5 is bigger than 2 by 3 there. That's x to the third. Down below, y to the 7th. Y's got the bigger exponent down below. 7 minus 4, or 3 is 4. So y to the fourth is in the denominator. Let's take a look at number 6. I'm raising everything to the fourth power. Negative 2 to the fourth power. Negative 2 to the fourth is 16. Then using exponent number 2, I have powers that are being raised to other powers. So I have x to the 3 times 4, x to the 12th. Y to the 4 times 4, 16th. Z to the 2 times 4, 8th. X over y to the third, I have x to the third. I'm sorry, x over 4 to the third. I have x to the third over 4 to the third. That's x cubed over 64. On 8, kind of the same thing as 7. I have x to the negative fourth over 3 to the negative fourth. That negative exponent goes south. This negative exponent goes north, so they switch sides. I have 3 to the fourth over x to the fourth, and 3 to the fourth is 81. Take a look at number 9. 21 is bigger than 7. 21 divided by 7 is 3. Highest power of x is in the denominator. 7 minus 5 gives me x to the second down below. The y's cancel. And we learned that y to the 0 is 1. That's what it would become. So you could put a 1 up here if you want. Highest x power of z is up top. 4 minus 2 is 2. Number 10, using exponent rule number 1. 4 times 5 is 20. Add the x's. 3 plus 4 gives you a 4. And then y to the negative 5 plus 3 is y to the negative second. That exponent is going to go south. Become y to the positive second. And then on 11, 2 to the third is 8. Then I have a power to a power, so I multiply them. X to the 6. 3 to the third is 27. Then I have a power to a power, so I multiply those powers. Y to the 9th. And that page of notes is finished. We are moving on to 12 here. Requires a little bit more simplifying. Let's simplify that first. 12 divided by 4, 3 in the numerator. What has the highest exponent? The bottom does. 6 minus 3 is 3. What has the highest exponent here for y? The top does. 2. Then I'm going to cube everything. 3 to the third is 27. Power to a power, I multiply y to the 6th over x to the 9th. 13. I'm going to take negative 3 and square it. I get 9. Then I have a power to a power, so I multiply the powers. That's x to the 6th, y squared. 2 to the third is 8. X to the 1 times 3 third. Y to the 2 times 3, 6. Then I multiply 9 times 8, and I add the exponents. X to the 6 plus 3 is 9th. Y to the 2 plus 6. Y to the 8th. That is exponent rule number 1. Combination here of the first exponent rule and the third one. 3 times 2 gives me 6. Add the exponents for x. X to the 2 plus 3, 5th. Y to the 1 plus 5, 6. Over 15x to the 4th, y squared. First off, 15 divided by 6 is 2.5. We don't want that. Instead, we're going to divide them both by 3. Gives me 2 over 5, which has the higher exponent for x, top or bottom. The top does. 5 is bigger than 4 by 1. You can put just x or x to the first, which has the highest exponent for y, top or bottom. The top does by 4. Number 15 here, going to multiply across in the numerator. 2 times 5 gives me 10. Add the exponents. X to the 4 plus 5 is x to the 9th. Y to the 2 plus 6. Y to the 8th. Over this, 20 divided by 10 gives me 2 down south. Then I look at the x's. The top has more in the exponent. 9 minus 3 is 6. And the bottom, 8 minus 5 is 3. Top also has the higher exponent with y. Okay, here we're just combining like terms. 4x squared minus 2x squared is 2x squared. A negative 5x minus 3x is a negative 8x. And 6 minus a negative 1 is 7. Negative x squared minus x squared is a negative 2x squared. Negative 3x minus 2x is negative 5x. 4 minus 5 is a negative 1. 6x squared minus 4x squared is 2x squared. 5x minus 6x is a single x. Negative single x, that is. 10 minus 12 is a negative 2. 19, 7x squared minus 4x squared is 3x squared. That's the only x term, so it's 6x. Negative 7 minus a negative 2 is a negative 5. All right, number 4, page 4. Going to distribute. 4x times 2x squared is 8x to the third, plus 4x times 3x is 12x squared. 21. Here we go, just distribute. 6x to the third, negative times negative is positive 22x. Negative times a positive is a negative 40x. 22 looks a little confusing, but 5xy times 2x. 5 times 2 is 10. X times x is x squared. Attach the y minus 5x times y squared plus, just attach the x squared to 6y squared. Put the x squared first. And then 6y squared times 6 is a 36y squared. None of those terms are like, yes, you have an x squared here, an x squared there, but you have a y and a y squared, so you don't have those are not like terms. -5, yes, x to the, or times y to the second. You have a y to the second here and a y to the second here. That has an x and that doesn't, so those are also not like terms. 23 just distributes. Again, the arrows are for multiplication. 10x to the third minus 15x squared plus 20x plus 14x squared minus 10x. Combine like terms. There we go. On 24, a bunch of distribution. 3 terms by 2 terms is going to give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms. Okay, so x to the third minus 4x squared plus 4x squared minus 16x plus 16x minus 64. Combined like terms. That's a very special answer there. We'll talk about why that's special next chapter. 2 terms by 3 terms is going to give me 6 terms there. So again, 3x times 2x squared, 3x times the negative 4x, 3x times 3, and then it's the -1's term. Again, combine like terms. There we go. On 26, we can write it 3 times, 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3. And FOIL the first two, 2x times 2x, 2x times the -3, -3 times 2x, a -3 times a -3. -6x minus 6x. There we go. And then it kind of looks like 24, 25. 3 terms by 2 terms is going to give me these 6 terms. Then I combine those like terms. There we go. Moving on to 27. Add the exponents. 3x to the third plus 6x to the first plus 3x to the -6. X to the first is just x. X to the -6 would give me x to the 6th down south. Now we shall, so those served as notes. Here is more of your homework section, but here's an answer to number 1. Again, we are dividing, which has, where's the highest power of x, top or bottom? Same question with y, and then z. All right, 45 divided by 15 gives me 3 up top. Exponent rule number 2, a power to a power. 3 to the 4th is 81. Then x to the 8th, y to the 16th. Multiplying exponents. Number 4, -2 squared is 4. Then we have a power to a power, so multiply those exponents. 5 to the 3rd is 125. Then I have a power to a power, so multiply them exponents. And then add x to the 8th times x to the -3rd is x to the 5th. Y to the 2nd times y to the 9th is y to the 11th. 4 times 125 is 600. Here I have a power to a power, so I'm going to multiply those